students, welcome to the Times online session. So in today's session, we are looking into the discussion of reasoning section of mock test for SSC CGL Tier I. It is an all India mock test held from 14th to 15th June 2025. Okay. Right. So let's begin with this thing. So the directions here says select the correct alternative from the given choices. Okay, so first one, select the correct mirror image of the given figure when the mirror is placed at AB. So when the mirror is placed vertically like this, okay, so you need to see what image I will get for the mirror that I have placed. So this is the original and this is the image. So usually when we look into the mirror image like this, the top will remain at the top, the bottom will remain at the bottom. So that means now if you observe the top here, basically the arrow mark is like this. Now that will be opposite like this, correct? And that is available in the first option and in the third option. These are the only two options. But then since you have the word PAN, P-A-N, now P image will be like this, N image will be like this, and A will remain as A. So it cannot be the third option. It will be the first option. Okay, so choice one. Then select the option that is related to the third word in the same way as the second word is related to the first word. He says the words must be considered as meaningful English words and must not be related to each other based on the number of letters or number of consonants or vowels in the word. Okay, so you cannot break it up and look at it as number of letters or vowels and consonants. We have to look at it as a meaningful word. So we have Vivo is to China. Similarly, Samsung is to what? So the brand Vivo is headquartered at China. Okay, the headquarters for Vivo is at China. So Vivo is a Chinese brand. So similarly, Samsung is a South Korean brand. So similar relation. Okay, so it is an analogy, we say. Analogy is similar. Okay, right. Choice 2. Then next, select the set in which the numbers are related in the same way as the numbers of the given set. Note, operations should be performed on the whole numbers without breaking down the numbers into its constituent digits. Okay. For example, 43. Operations on 43 such as adding, subtracting, multiplying, etc. can be performed. Breaking down 43 into 4 and 3 and then performing mathematical operations on 4 and 3 is not allowed. So you cannot use them as digits. You have to treat them as numbers. So now the first set we have is 14, 91, 98. Okay. Now if you observe carefully, we have 91, 98. These are closed numbers. In the second set also, if you see 23, 176 and 184. So 176, 184 is also closed numbers. Correct. So I need to find what relation that is there. Now here, if I take this as plus 7. And here I'm getting plus 8. Now, how do I connect 14 with 91? Because 14 and 91 cannot be used as any multiplication. But 14 and 98 can be used as a multiplication. So here I can do it as into 7. And then the same is you are adding for the second number to get the third number. So same way we can do from 23, if I multiply by 8, I'm getting 184. The same thing you are adding for 176 to get the same number 184. Now, which is that I can look into? So that will happen now 25 into 3 is 75, but 3 plus 3 is not going to happen. Second option. So in the second option, if you see, you have a 84, 332 and 336. Now 84 you are going to multiply it with 4 to get 336, and the same thing you are adding here to get 336. So option 2, similar relation, because that is what he says, which the numbers are related in the same way as. Okay, so that is how the numbers are to be related. Okay, so choice 2. Then now he says, which of the following numbers will replace the question mark in the given series? So it's a series question. So we have 7, 14, 42, 168, blank, and 5040. Now here, as you can see, the numbers are increasing and they are exponentially increasing. So because they are exponentially increasing, I need to use a product. Now, if I use a product, so what is the product that I can have? Are you understanding the point here? So if I use the product, okay, so what is the product that I am going to get? So here, 7 into 2 is 14. Then 14 into 3, you get 42, correct? So now 42 into 4, you are going to get 168. So that is how the multiplication is happening. So the next multiplication is 168 into 5. So we know 160 into 5 is 800. Another 8 into 5 is 40. So basically, I am going to get 840 as my answer. It is product of the numbers. Okay. Right. The next, yes, says 3 statements are followed by 2 conclusions. Consider the statements to be true, even though they seem to be at variance with commonly known facts, and decide which of the conclusions logically follows from the statements. Okay, so this is deductions. So we take the combined basic diagram. So we have some stars are galaxies. Okay, then we have all galaxies are magical. And then we have no magical is exist. So this is how we take the combined basic diagram. Now coming to the conclusions, the first one is negative, that says no magical is a star. Means magical should be separate, star should be separate. There should not be any overlap between the two. But here in my diagram, there is already star and magical overlapping. That means it is a negative conclusion which does not follow my basic diagram. So it does not follow. Correct? But the second one, some stars are magical. Yes, that definitely works because S and M are overlapping with each other. So I can say only 2 follows is my answer. Correct? So choice 3. Only 2 follows. Okay. Right. Then next, yes. Now it says the second number in the given number pairs is obtained by performing certain mathematical operation on the first number. The same operation is or are followed in all the number pairs except one. Find that odd number pair. So there is a common operation that works in 3 out of 4 options. I need to find an option that doesn't have that operation. Okay. Right. So now here, if you observe in the first option, you have 7 and 336. Now you can clearly look into it as 7 cube, because why? 7 cube is a number which is 343 close to the number 336. And by doing -7, I am going to get 336. So basically I can write this as 7 cube minus 7. So we need to recognize squares and cubes which are close to the given numbers. That way it is easy to look at it. So this is my first option. Now, if you take the second option, we have 11 and 1320. So I can write it as 11 cube minus 11, which is 1331 minus 11, gives you 1320. Then the third option, we have 8 ratio 504. So it can be 8 cube 512 minus 8. So 512 minus 8 gives you 504. Correct? Then next, the fourth option here we have is 13 ratio 1156. But then if I take 13 cube, you'll get 2197. And by doing minus 13, you are never going to get 1156. So that is why I choose option 4. So the format I'm looking at is n ratio n cube minus n is the format. Okay. So that is the same mathematical operation followed except for fourth option. Okay. Right. Okay. Then coming to the next. Says select the option that represents the letters that when placed from left to right in the following blanks will complete the letter series. Okay. So the first thing you need to look at is what are all the different alphabets that you have here. So you have R, E, D, B, A. These are the different alphabets which are repeated. Correct? So now you have a gap before this R. Okay, so because there are 5 different alphabets, now if I take the first 5 alphabets, you have blank R, E, blank D. Now what are the missing alphabets here? B is missing, A is missing. So it is either going to be B or A or B. But if you put B or A, the word I'm getting is bread, correct? So check, is that again happening in the next one? Yes. We have B blank E A blank. So means R and D is missed. So again, I'm getting bread. And again, in the next 5 letters, you have blank R E blank D, which is again B and A. Correct? So the word bread is repeated in that particular order. So everywhere you are getting bread. So now I need to see which is the option that satisfies. So I start off with B, correct? And then BA is available in 3 and 4. And then the next is we have R and D. R and D is available in both. And the next again we have is B. So BARDB, and that's available in the third option. Correct? So that way we have our answer. These are the missing alphabets. Okay. Right. Next. A paper is folded and cut as shown below. How will it appear when unfolded? So now you have this piece of paper, okay, where you have a circle, then a half circle and a triangle here. Now I have to unfold it. Now if I unfold it, so if you look at the arrow mark here, it is an upward arrow here, correct? Because it is an upward arrow here, so it is going to be unfolded in the downward like this. So the triangle will appear reverse. You will have a circle and then you have the half arrow. So this is how it is going to be. Correct? And then again, if you see the arrow mark is like this. So that means we have to unfold it like this in the reverse direction because it is folding in that direction. So unfolding should happen in the reverse direction. So I will have to consider the same images in both of them. So this is how it is going to look like. So that is available in the first option. You just have to retrace the steps. You will get your answer. Okay. Yeah. Right. Then next one. Select the option that is related to the 5th number in the same way as the 2nd number is related to the 1st number and 4th number is related to the 3rd number. So now I need to find a relation for 17, 26 in the same way 9 and 14 so that I can use that relation to get my answer for 21. is related to which of the numbers. Now here, as you can see, all are very close numbers. But if I take addition, 17 plus 9 is going to give you 26. But that 9 cannot be added for this 9 because you are only having 14 there. So it has to be the same. That is what he says, same way. The numbers should be related in the same way. The relation has to be the same. So it cannot be addition. That much is very clear. Correct? Then what else I can do? Because the numbers are increasing in all, I have to then take multiplication. But if I take multiplication, I cannot do into 2 because 9 into 2 is 18 and 17 into 2 is 34. So I cannot do into 1 also. Okay. So then the only number I can do is in between, which is 1.5. So suppose if I do 9 into 1.5, how much you are going to get? 9 into 1.5 is 13.5. Correct? So now 13.5 plus 0.5, you are getting 14. Now, is that working everywhere? We need to check. So now 17 into 1.5, how much is that? So 17 into 1 is 17 and half of 17 is 8.5. So 17 plus 8.5 is 25.5. So again, by adding 0.5, you are getting 26. So the relation stands. Now I can do the same, 21 into 1.5. So now 21 into 1 is 21 and half of 21 is 10.5. So 21 plus 10.5 is 31.5, and by adding another 0.5, I can get 32. So that is available in choice 2. So the logic is into 1.5 plus 0.5. So try to identify it logically like this. If a number is increasing from first number to second number, it is increasing. Third number to fourth number, it is increasing. So it is either addition or multiplication. So if addition cannot happen, try using multiplication. And sometimes the decimal multiplication will be the logic. Got it? Okay. Yeah. Then next one. He says select the option that is related to the fifth letter in the same way as second letter cluster. Cluster is nothing but a group. Second letter cluster is related to the first letter cluster and the fourth letter cluster is related to the third letter cluster. Okay. So we have the word active and that is related to B, E, W, H, T and B. So in the same way you have castle and that is related to D, C, V, S, J, P. Now in the same way, I have dealer. So which is related to dealer. Okay, so now we need to take the place values. Now here first always we need to look into are there any concept based on vowels? Now in the word active, you have a I, which is a vowel, but that is replaced by H, a consonant. Similarly, E is a vowel that is replaced by B, that is a consonant. So there is no logic based on vowels and consonants. Now we take the place value. So A is 1, B is 2. So this is plus 1. So you need to check parallelly if that works. See, C is 3, D is 4. Here also plus 1. Because if you take a logic completely and then verify it, sometimes it may not work. Then it is unnecessary. You're spending time there. So parallelly you check because the relation should be the same. So parallelly, if you keep checking, if something is not working, you can quickly change and find something else. Go for some other logic. Correct? So then here C is 3, E is 5. So this is plus 2. So here also A is 1, C is 3. So plus 2. Then T is 20, W is 23. So this is plus 3. Here S is 19, V is 22. So here also I'm getting plus 3. Correct. Now same way, I is 9, H is 8. So this is minus 1. T is 20, S is 19. So minus 1. Then V is 22, T is 20, minus 2. L is 12, J is 10. Again, it is minus 2. E is 5, B is 2 is minus 3. Again, here E is 5, B is 2. You are getting minus 3. So the logic is plus 1, plus 2, plus 3. And minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. That is the logic we need to apply. So we do the same. Plus 1, plus 2, plus 3. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So D is 4, plus 1, 5 is E. E is 5, plus 2, 7 is G. A is 1 plus 3, 4 is D. Likewise, L is 12 minus 1 is 11K. E is 5 minus 2 is 3 is C. R is 18 minus 3 is 15, that is O. And that's available in the fourth option. Okay. Yeah. Similar logic. You have to work it out. Okay. Right. Then next one. Yes. Now it says A plus B means A is the father of B. A minus B is A is the son of B. A at the rate B means A is the mother of B. A exclamation B means A is the sister of B. Now, if you have this expression, then how is Q related to U? So we need to construct a family tree. So let's check. P minus U, minus is son. So we have P is a son to U. Then we have U exclamation T, exclamation is sister. So U is a sister to T. Okay, so they are siblings. Then we have T plus Q. Plus means a father. So T is a father to Q. And then Q at the rate R. At the rate is mother. Q is a mother to R. So this is how you get your family tree. Now the question is, how is Q related? That means from the other person you check, because the question is, how is Q related? From the other person you check, that is U. So from U, first you have to go to T. That is a brother. And from that brother, you have to go to Q. That is a daughter. So brother's daughter, we can call it as niece. Brother's or sister's daughter is niece. Okay, so choice 4 is the answer. Right? Okay, then next one. Now select the figure that will come in place of the question mark in the following series. Okay, so you have a question mark here towards the end. So after the 4 given figures, what will be the next figure in the series? We need to check. So now we need to know what is happening from first figure to the second figure. The images are same, only the orientation is changing. Correct? So from first figure to second figure, can I say it is 45-degree anti-clockwise? That is what is happening from 1 to 2, anti-clockwise, right? Then from second to the third, see what is happening. It is again rotated by now 90 degrees anti-clockwise. Correct? Do you see the bump? The bump, if you check, you will know. Okay, so earlier it was just oriented by 45 degrees. Now it is 90 degrees. Now again from the third to the fourth figure, it is again back to 45 degrees anti-clockwise. So now my answer figure should have a 90-degree orientation in anti-clockwise. So that means, see, this is the image that we have. Now I need a 90-degree in anti-clockwise. So it is now going to be like this. Correct? So this is going to be my final figure. And that is available where? In choice 2. The choice 2 will be our answer. Okay. Right. Then moving on to the next one. Right. He says 3 of the following 4 letter clusters are alike in a certain way and one is different. Pick the odd one out, he says. So he says pick the odd one out. Okay. Right. So let's see. Now in the first option, we have E, V, T, Q. So E is a 5, V is a 22, T is a 20, Q is 70. Okay. Then the second option, we have Z, A, Y, V. So Z is 26, A is 1, Y is 25, and V is 22. Okay, then the third option we have is L, O, G, J, G. So 12, 15, 10, 7. And then in the fourth option, we have is SHFC. So which is 19, 8, 6, and 3. Okay. So now what is it that you observe here in the numbers is if you check the first 2, in all the options, can I say that they are opposite pairs? Correct? Because by adding the place value, you are getting 27. So the first two in all the options is opposite pair. You are getting 27. But then if you check from the next onwards, so in the first option, you have 22, then you are doing -2 to get 20, and then -3 to get 70. That is for the first option. Now, if you check the second option, here again from 1, see 1 can also be taken as 27, correct? Because if Z is 26, you can take A as 27. Now, if I take A as 27, then again you are getting -2, you get 25, then -3, you are getting 22. So basically, that is what is happening. So in option 1 and option 2, the logic is opposite pair and then -2, -3. Now, if you check the third option, here also I'm getting opposite pair, no doubt. But here I'm getting -5, -3. Correct? But in the fourth option, again, you are getting -2, -3 along with the opposite. So, except for the third option, remaining all have the same concept of the first two are opposite pairs. And then you have -2 and -3. Correct? Yeah. So that's the logic. And third option is the answer. Okay. Then next, yes, now this is replacing the alphabets with operators. Now we'll see what expression we get. So we have 16, A means into 3, S means +5, then Z means -21, and hash means divided by 7. So what is the value you get for this? Okay. So first is division. So -21 divided by 7 is -3. And then next is multiplication. So 16 into 3 you have is 48. Then +5. So 48 plus 5 is 53. 53 minus 3, you are getting the answer as 50. And that's available in the third option. So we apply BODMAS. Whenever numbers with mathematical operators are given, this is the one and only one rule we apply to get our answer. Okay. Right. Next. Yes. Now it says select the option that represents the correct order of the given words as they would appear in the English dictionary. So according to the dictionary, what is the order that you have to get? Okay. So everything is starting with a H. So then I have to look into the second alphabet. So the second alphabet in the second option, third option, fifth option is A. Correct? So basically, I need to get into this first. So between 2, 3, and 5, what is the order we need to check? So you go to the third alphabet. Now in the third alphabet, in second and third option is same, I and I. So I go for the fourth alphabet. So in second, you have is L. And in third, you have is R. So L appears before R. So second comes first. Then third comes next. And then fifth comes. So between 2, 3, and 5, the order of the words you have is 2, 3, and 5. Now see how many options you have. There is only one option. Choice 2. So you don't have to find everything. Take it up 2 words or 3 words together and see what is the order. And if more than one option you are getting it, then accordingly you will consider the remaining. Okay. Then if you check the remaining 3 also, let us find the remaining 3 also. We have heights, E, and E. In 1, 4, and 6, you have all the 3 are E. Then the third. So the third alphabet in 6 is A. So between 1, 4, and 6, 6 should come first. Then in the remaining 2, you have I and I, then G and G, then H and H, then T and T, and then finally you have E. So that means the 4 should come first and then 1 will come. So this is the final order that you have. Okay, that is how. Sometimes he will say correct order according to the dictionary. He will say dictionary order. Okay, English dictionary. Right. So choice 2. Then in a certain code language, best is coded as, okay, so we have the word best that is coded as FIWX, and then days is coded as HECW. Now, how is the word coming coded? Correct? Yeah. Now, let us see here. Now, first thing is, if you observe the concept of vowels, like I told you, see, in the word best, E is replaced with I, means it is the next vowel. Now, here in days also, A is replaced with E, so it's the next vowel. So now, if I look at OI, there are two vowels. Technically, O should be replaced by U, but in none of my options, I am getting U in the second position. So then the concept is not vowels. It may look like vowels, but it is not vowels. So then we take the help of place value. See, 2 you have and 6 you have. So this is plus 4. Here also 4 and 8. So plus 4. Then 5 and 9. So this is again plus 4. Then 1 and 5. So this is also plus 4. Then 19 and 23. So plus 4. 20 and 24 plus 4. So everywhere the concept here is plus 4. Correct? So it is plus 4, plus 4, plus 4, plus 4. Constant plus 4 is added. So that's what we do. So we have a 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 is G. Then O is 15 plus 4 is 19. 19 is S. So GS. Yeah, there are 3 options. Then next 13 plus 4 is 17. So that's a Q. Then 9 plus 4, 13. That's an M. GSQM. And that's available only in the second option. Correct? Yeah. So we have 14 plus 4, 18, which is R. 7 plus 4, 11, that is K. So that's how we get choice 2. Okay. Right. Then next one. Yes. Now he says which two signs should be interchanged to make the given equation correct. Okay. So let's take the first option. So we have a 93. Now into and division if I interchange. Okay. Plus 8 minus 14. So how much will I get this? Because on the right hand side, you have 955. Now 93 divided by 3 is 31. Now 31 into 31. 31 square is 961. And then you have plus 8 and minus 14. So this is 969 minus 14. That is going to give you 955. So then first option itself is my answer because LHS equals RHS. That is going to make my equation correct. Yes. Yeah. So choice 1. Okay. Choice 1. Then next, yes. He says which letter cluster will replace the question mark to complete the given series. Okay. So it is a letter series given to us. So whenever letter series is given to us, always write them down one below the other so that it is easy to identify a logic. So we have Y, G, G, H. Then you have a blank. Then you have a C, C, I, F. And then you have E, A, J, E. Okay, now what comes in place of the question mark? So now you take the place value. See, you have 23. This is 25, so plus 2. So here you have a 3 and a 5. Here also plus 2. So that means everywhere if I do plus 2. So 25 plus 2 is 27 or the first alphabet A. So that we have 1 plus 2, 3. So everywhere you have plus 2. Now likewise you have a 9 and a 7. So this is minus 2. And here 3 and a 1. So again a minus 2. So here also if I do minus 2 now. So for the first alphabet it is plus 2. For the second alphabet we have is minus 2. You have a 5. 5 is E. So everywhere you are doing minus 2. So A and E. Then next we have is F, that is 6, and then G, that is 7. So this is +1. Now here you have a 9 and a 10. Here also you are doing +1. So if I do for the third alphabet as +1, 7 + 1 is 8. 8 alphabet is H. So AEH, and that's available in the third option. So basically the logic is +2 -2 +1 -1. That is the constant logic across any group you are going to get. So 8 minus 1 is 7. Seventh letter is G. So AEHG, because everywhere that is what you are getting. Yes. Yeah. So write them down one below the other. Finding a logic becomes easy. Okay. Right. Then moving on, the next one. In a certain code language, if must is written as 94, so the word must is written as 94 and clay is written as 42, how will out be written in that same code language? Okay, so now we have two examples that we need to satisfy using the same logic. So let's see if I take clay, because the number is less, we will check that. We have 3, then L is 12, A is 1, Y is 25. Okay, so let's take the summation. If I add them, 3 plus 12, 15, plus 1, 16, 16 plus 25, you are going to get 41. But here you have a 42. So maybe it is +1. Let us check. Now, if I take the above one, we have M is 13, U is 21, S is 19, T is 20. Okay, so now if I add it, if I take addition, now we know 21 plus 19 is how much? 40. 40 plus 20 is 60. Then 60 plus 13, you are getting 73. But then you are not adding +1 like what you have done in the earlier case. Are you understanding that? Correct? So it is not about adding 1 or adding any constant number. It is about, look at specifically A. Why I have singled out A? Because A is a vowel. So the logic is sum of place values plus sum of place values of vowels. So first is sum of place values of the letters. You take all the letters, you add, and then additionally you are going to add the place values of vowels again. So now here from 73, see what is the vowel you have here? U. U is how much? 21. So if I add a 21, am I getting 94? Yes. Are you understanding the point? Okay, so this is the concept. Sum of the place values of the letters plus the sum of the place values of the vowels. Okay, so the same thing we do here. So A is 1, U is 21, T is 20, H is 8. So we have 1 plus 21 is 22. 22 plus 20 is 42. 42 plus 8, you are going to get 50. But 50 is not my answer. I have to add the vowels. Now there are two vowels here, A and U, which is I need to add +1 plus 21. So total 22 if I add, my answer should be 72, and that's available in the first option. Okay? Yes. Then. Now it says select the correct combination of mathematical signs to sequentially replace the plus signs and balance the given equation. So we need to take option by option. So let us check. So in the first option, we have 4 into 5 plus 7 equals 81 minus 3. So the right hand side, 81 minus 3 is going to be 78. Now here you are only getting 27. So first option doesn't work. Correct? Now let's take the second option. We have 4 minus 5 plus 7 equals 81 divided by 3. Now we know 81 divided by 3 is 27. But here it is not 27. You are getting 6. So choice 2 also doesn't work. Correct? So if I had the earlier combination in the left side and now the combination on the right side, then that would be the same. So we just need to check, is there any option that has, 4 into 5 plus 7 equals 81 divided by 3. So do I have it? Yes, you have into plus equals division happening in the fourth option. So that now this is 27 and this is also 27. So option 4 definitely works. That's all. When you keep doing it, you start identifying what is the correct sequence of operators that I need to put it. Okay? Yeah. So choice 4. Then next one. Pointing to a man, Arati said, he is the father of. So that man, let us call that man as A. Okay, so A is a male. That man is the father of the daughter. Let me call that daughter as B. So that man, this is the man. Okay, the man is the father of the daughter. And daughter to who? Daughter of my mother's husband. So the same daughter should be a daughter to my mother's husband. Who is my here? My is Arati. Okay, so if I take Arati here, so Arati should have a mother. And that mothers should have a husband. And that daughter should be the same daughter to the mother's husband. So that means basically I can take Arti's mother and the daughter's father as husband and wife. That means Arati and that daughter, they will become siblings. Are you understanding the point? Okay. So the same daughter who is the man's daughter, she's also a daughter to Arati's mother's husband. So that man will be identified as mother's husband. Okay, now the question is, how is that man related to Arati's brother? How is that man related to Arati's brother? We know the answer is father. Because A and C are the parents of B, Arati and D. Correct? So A is the father to all the three. So the man is related as that brother's father. So father is the answer. Understood? Okay. Yeah. That is how we look into it. So construct a family tree based on the given information. That is the best way to answer any question using blood relations. Okay. Right. Then next one. Yes. Now he says in a certain code, olive is coded as 51, 21, 90, 22 and 50. Okay. So when you have such big number, start taking the place value. So if I take the place value here, you will identify some logic. Means if you check here, we have, if I take two digits, because mainly 22 is given as 22 only here. But if you check the remaining, their digits are reversed and given. Means 15 is changed as 51. 12 is changed as 21. So this is 9. So if you write it as 09, it will be 90. And 05, it will be 50. So basically, the digits in the place value are reversed and written. That is the logic. So same way, if you take iron, so I is 09, R is 18, O is 15, N is 14. So if I write the place values by reversing the digits, you have 90, 81, 51, 41. Check. Do I not have the same number here? Yes. So that is the concept. So now how will odds be written in that language? So O is 15, D is 4, again 4, S is 19. So if I write them in the reverse, 51, 40, 40, 91. So that should be my answer, which is there in the first option. Okay. So this is the logic. Digits of place values are reversed. That is the concept. Okay. Yes. Right. Then next one. He says two different positions of the same dice are shown, the 6 faces of which are numbered 1 to 6. Select the number that will be on the face opposite to the one showing 3. So whenever you have two faces common, okay, like 4 and 5, these are the two faces that are common. So in two different views, if you have two faces common, then we will be able to identify only one pair of opposite. Means the non-common face will be perfectly opposite to each other. The non-common face will be exactly opposite each other, and that is the only opposite pair we can find. Are you understanding? Okay, or you can look at it in this way also. See the first view given, no? So if I rotate the first view anti-clockwise by one, face. Now, because in both the views, 4 is in the front. So I will keep 4 in the front, but by, shifting the first view by 90 degrees anti-clockwise, what happens? So 5 comes at the top. Where will 6 go? 6 will go on the left side. Now, if you look at the second view, 5 is at the top. Now, what is on the right face? 3. And where was 6? At the left face. So, right face and left face are opposite. So, 6 and 3 are opposite. So, the question, which number will be on the face opposite? The one showing 3. So, the answer is 6. You can visualize and do it also. But simple understanding is in both the views, if two numbers are common, then straight away take the non-common numbers as opposites. That's the only opposite pair we will be able to identify in this case. Okay, that is how we look at it here. Yeah, choice 2. Okay, next. He says brazen is related to shy in the same way as cranky is related to. Now, brazen and shy, we need to find what is the relation between the words. I can say that they are antonyms. Means their meanings are opposite. Brazen is exact opposite to shy. Now, same way, cranky is exact opposite to happy. Okay, cranky and happy are antonyms. Just like brazen and shy. Okay, choice 4. Right, the next one. Select the option in which the given figure is embedded. He's asking, rotation is not allowed, he says. Okay, now observe the given image very carefully. See, he has given the image like this, where the height is the same. Do you see? The height of these two is the same. All those things have to be taken into account. Why? Because if you don't take that into account, you can say first option is my answer, third option is my answer, fourth also is my answer. Yes or no? Because in the first option also you have that image, but the height is not the same. Do you see that? So that is why first option cannot be used. Second, anyway, you can rule it out. It is not there. Now in the third also, if you check, you have a similar one, but the height is not the same. That is why you cannot take the third. But if you check the fourth, observe carefully, the given height is the same. Correct? So that is why option 4 is what we choose as the answer. So the height, same height should be considered. Okay? So we need to be very careful when you are looking at it. Don't be in a hurry. Understood? Yeah. So it is choice 4. Okay? All right. So that brings us to the end of this session on, reasoning section of the mock test. So whatever is discussed, hope it is understood. Okay. So thank you all for attending it. and goodbye.